Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are having a nice day. Well, we have some heartbreaking news about Wendy Williams. So people have been asking for a while, some of us anyway, where in the world is our winter Wendy? Where is our Wendy Williams? We are used to seeing her gallivanting all over New York in her fur boots, her fur covered boots, and her shorts, her signature shorts. And we haven't been seeing Wendy in a while. So I did a video a little while ago concerning where she might be. That video was sparked by Jason Lee because he was asking where she was, and at the end of the video, he was like, "Free Wendy," right? And so a little bit after that, we got a trailer from Lifetime because Saturday, this coming Saturday, there is going to be a Wendy Williams documentary, and it's going to be chronicling her life after the Wendy Williams show. So they've been following her, from what I understand, for a couple of years. The thing about this documentary is, it was real hard to watch because it was showing Wendy in not such a good light. They were showing, that she was having an episode concerning her Graves' disease, which made her eyes, like really, pop out of her head. And she was also having the issue with alcohol at the time. And so it was just like really hard to watch, right? And so anyway, oh, and I believe that um when Wendy started having this relapse, because she was also said she had been a alcohol rehab center a couple of times since 2019. But in 2019, Kevin, her husband Kevin Hunter, got a divorce. And she started spending a lot of time with her son, Kevin Jr. But they got a divorce in 2019, and Kevin Hunter the reason why they had to get a divorce is because she told Kevin that, "I know that you're fooling around on me, but never have a baby." Well, his side piece, Sharina, decided she wanted to have a baby, and that prompted Wendy to divorce Kevin Hunter Jr. I mean Kevin Hunter. I'm sorry. Um, and so things have been not see think to me, in my opinion, things haven't been right with Wendy since 2019. So there was a People magazine article published about Wendy, and the title of the article is "People," and it says, "Addiction, Health Struggles, a Family in Turmoil, the Fight to Save Wendy Williams." The reason why they're saying that is because today her family was on Good Morning America, and they were explaining what they know to be going on with Wendy's, because they haven't seen Wendy in a couple of years, actually. And the reason why they haven't seen Wendy in a couple of years is because she has a guardianship. New York, gave guardianship to somebody. They didn't want to name the person, but sources are telling us that allegedly her her lawyer actually has guardianship over her, right? And so they were talking about it today. They did an interview on Good Morning America. Her niece, Alex Fine, did an interview on the View today as well, right? And so she was talking about what was going on with Wendy, what was going on with her manager, which was once her jeweler. She was questioning a lot of these decisions that were being made, by her quote unquote team, right? And her quote unquote guardian, which people are alleging is actually her lawyer, right? Which is why I believe that she can't see Wendy. She's pretty much locked the family out, and the family wants to know what's going on. And like I said, her niece appeared on The View today, and she was stating that Wendy can call them. Wendy has called her a couple of times, but they can't call her. They can't call her because they don't know where she is. So evidently, she's in some type of facility, getting help for her ailment. And But after by the end of The View, her team um wrote this little brief little thing right here explaining what's going on with Wendy, right? And come to find out, Wendy has been diagnosed with dementia. and she was diagnosed with dementia. I think they said in 2022, and it's been a couple of years actually since the family has seen her. But evidently, according to this press release, she's been in a facility that can help her with her dementia and her Graves' disease, her lymphedema. And the niece said the one time that she did speak to her, she spoke to her about 4 hours, and she seemed really well. I'm assuming she has good days and bad days, but some of this press release says that in New York, today is the 22nd, 2024. It says on behalf of Wendy Williams Hunter, her care team is sharing. I can't hardly read it. It's sharing this very, I'm sorry, y'all, I can't hardly read it. It's really small. It's sharing this very disturbing personal update with her cherished fans and friends and supporters. Now, they didn't say family, right? They said to correct inaccurate and hurtful rumors about her health. Now, see, what they're trying to do, in my opinion, is trying to clean up the fact that the family is now speaking out. The family is letting the world know that they don't have any access to Wendy. And if Wendy has dementia and all of this other stuff going on, why is the family not able to contact her? Why is the family not able to see her? Not to mention when it comes to this um Wendy Williams documentary that was filmed over 2 years. Why is it that is Wendy even cognitive enough to sign off on such a project? Now we know that Wendy Williams was given a 3-year movie deal with Lifetime, and this documentary is the third installment of that 3-movie deal, right? So maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know, but it seems like they're trying to sweep something under the rug because people are starting to question what's really going on with Wendy. Like, you have to question that there's something fishy going on when she is separated with her family, and the guardian, which is allegedly her lawyer, which went to Wells Fargo and put a stop, to her money, and was placed in guardianship of her. It's a lot of stuff going on, and it seems real diabolical and devious, right? So the like I said, her niece was on The View, and she was discussing what was going on with Wendy. Clearly, her family is really worried about her. And then come to find out that her family was over her medical needs at one point in time, but her brother, right here, Tommy, they say allegedly signed over those guardianship rights to the person that is the guardian over her, which is alleged the lawyer, right? And said that pretty much he didn't want to have anything to do with it. So he signed the rights over. And right here it says Wendy Williams has been diagnosed with primary progressive aphasia and frontal dementia, according to a press release from the former talk show host and her medical team. That is the thing that I showed you guys, the press release that I showed you guys earlier, which is really small and it's hard to read. So it's stating that Wendy Williams does have dementia. I don't know why we haven't heard about this until now. It seems really creepy and really exploitative. This whole documentary seems exploitative when it comes to Wendy. Now, her niece said that Wendy said she wants to share her story with the people while she still has control, over her faculties. But does she have control over her faculties? And we've seen this before. We've seen this a high profile case with Britney Spears, when Britney Spears had a legal conservator guardian over her, and it was actually her father. And it is said that he was actually taking her monies allegedly. And we also seen recently, as far as dementia goes in young people, because they said this type of dementia can happen in young people between 40 and 65. We know that Wendy is 59. She's getting ready to turn 65. It's also happened to actor Bruce Willis. He was diagnosed with the same type of illness that Wendy has. And here it says Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis was diagnosed with the same thing, frontotemporal dementia, aka FTD, and had to retire from acting before his family publicly shared his diagnosis in 2023. They revealed March 22nd that he had to step away from Hollywood because he was experiencing a disorder called aphasia. Aphasia is that frontal lobe dementia that they're talking about, right? And in 2018, do you guys remember when Wendy fell on the show when she had that Statue of Liberty outfit on and she fell back? Well, something similar to that, happened to Bruce Willis in 2018. He was filming a movie called Motherless Brooklyn, and he fell to the ground. They said like a sack of potatoes, and his co-star Edward Norton had to help him up. He couldn't. They thought he had a heart attack, but he didn't have a heart attack. So after he got up, arrested for a few minutes, he was fine. So the same thing has happened. So Bruce Willis has been diagnosed with the same thing that Wendy has been diagnosed with, unfortunately. And you can see him deteriorating. And they say they can live up to from 2 to 20 years, But I read a little bit about it, and it says that the patient can deteriorate really fast, right? Especially when it comes to the memory and other cognitive functions. So I guess this is what Wendy is dealing with in the facility wherever she is. But her niece said she sounded really good when she did talk to her. She sounded like the old Wendy, but we know when you're dealing with dementia, you can go in and out, right? And so I'm thinking that's what's going on. But I hate that her family, can't visit her. Her father is still her mother passed away, but her father is still alive. He is 93 years old. This is his father on her father on the far left. He is 93 years old and he can't see her. Her son had her in Miami with the family for a while. And they kept bothering Wendy to come back to New York. So she came back to New York. And when she came back to New York, that is when the guardianship was placed over her, and it was real sneaky the way that they did it, in my opinion. And like I said, her manager, he's real. How do you go from being a jeweler to Wendy Williams' manager? And that sounds, weird also to me. And now the guardian is allegedly the lawyer. And we know when it comes to lawyers, they know all the tricks of the trade. And I'm thinking this is why Wendy her family is not being granted access to her, but her family clearly wants to be with her. They want Wendy to be with them as it should be. And in my opinion, they are starting to speak out because they want to fight this guardianship. As a matter of fact, I think they are. I think they are going, back to court concerning this guardianship because I don't understand it. It don't make no sense to me. But at the end of the day, we just want Wendy to be okay, and she's still wanting to go back to her career. I don't know if that's possible now. You know what I mean? But that is a goal for her. And I just wish her the best. I just really hate that this is happening to her, you know. And like I said, I believe it all started in 2019, right? And so eventually, when it comes to dementia, um, for some people, this is going to happen, eventually anyway. And I just hate that it happened to Wendy when she was starting to revamp her career, and such things of that nature. But y'all, please send positive energy and prayers to not only Wendy, but also her son Kevin Jr. and also the rest of her family. Like I said, she has a dad that is 93 years old and he wants to see his child before he goes away from here. And I know Wendy wants to see them as well. And I don't know why she's been, held prisoner, in my opinion, kept away from her family. If you're not doing anything wrong, or not doing or not trying to exploit her in any way, why is she not able to see? Why is her family not able to see her? Why is her family being kept from her? Why is her family not even giving her location? If you're doing nothing wrong. And how do we know that she's in a facility? Just cause they said so? Just cause they said so, that don't mean she in a facility. She could be anywhere. Anybody could be doing anything to Wendy. We don't know. Her family absolutely doesn't know because they have no contact with her unless she calls them on the phone. And so we don't even know if that's Wendy actually on the phone. They've got so many different types of voice modulators these days. We don't even know if her niece is talking to her when she calls, right? So anyway, we're gonna have to pray for Wendy. I'm absolutely praying for Wendy and her safe return, and I'm absolutely praying that her family is eventually able to contact her. But I'm glad they spoke out today. This morning, not only on the Good Morning America show, but also on the View, and so and in People Magazine. And I hope they continue to shine light on Wendy's. Some people are actually saying this is Wendy's karma. Wendy is a shock jock, a gossip columnist. Wendy has been doing her job for years. If it was not for Wendy, Wendy Williams was the first one that started, telling the world what R. Kelly was doing. Nobody would listen to her at the time. She also spoke about the shady stuff P. Diddy had going on with Cassie and a whole lot of stuff. So for that reason, a lot of people don't like her. A lot of people are glad that she's out of the game right now. But this is not karma to me. And for anybody to say that this is her karma is really heartless, in my opinion. Because to lose your cognitive skills and you have dementia, you don't know what's going on, you're in a strange place. Wendy has to be horrified, when she does blank into her right mind. I'm sure she don't want anything like this going on. And those people holding her captive, in my opinion, from her family, ought to be ashamed of themselves. I hope when her family goes back to court, they are given legal guardianship and conservatorship over Wendy, as it should be. Especially her son. At one point in time, they said that her son was taking monies from her. I don't believe that. Kelvin responded, said, "I'm not taking anything from her." But miraculously to this day, he is actually the guardian is still giving him fundage and funding his place to stay and whatnot, because that's how his mama would want it. And so that's really not even an issue. He don't have to take nothing from his mama because she's still giving it to him. Okay. But anyway, y'all, that's all I got. If I hear anything else about this, very, very heartbreaking news, I'll let you guys know. I just hope that Wendy gets better. And like I said, the first part of the documentary will be airing this Saturday on Lifetime. If you guys want to check it out, I don't know if I'm going to be able to watch it. I really don't think I am, because at first I was hoping that when the documentary ended, the second part, that it would end on a high note. Wendy is still in this facility, according to her team, according to this press release. I'm assuming the unfortunately, the documentary is not going to end on a high note, and for that reason, I don't want to see Wendy like that. Because I love me some Wendy Williams, and I know some of you guys too do too. So I don't. The trailer was enough for me, child. But anyway, please like, share, subscribe. When you subscribe to the channel, please hit that notifications bell so that you will be notified when I drop another video. Thank you guys so much. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye bye. Peace.